Hey everybody, Nick from the Basset Up, and today it is the beginning of the month, so that means giveaway time. So we're going to give away half our YouTube income, and I'm just going to insert the winner, the drawing, right here in this video. It's going to be overlaid over my voice talking, and we're going to do a lot of that in this video. It's just going to be a kind of a short video, but what I want to talk to you guys about is the ClearLake tournament that we just fished yesterday, and the weights that came out of there, the incredible weights that came out of there. Possibly, I mean, they're the biggest winning weight of a 5-fish limit I've ever heard of. Let me know in the comments if you guys know of any tournament weight 5-fish limit one day bigger than the one that we're going to talk about in this video. So put that in the comment. I mean, I'd love to hear it. I'd like to see pictures of it. But I did some research today, and I could find one bag it was a Bassmaster event in Florida that was close, real super close, but this one's bigger. So maybe the biggest tournament bag, one day, 5-fish limit ever weighed in the history of the world. For sure, probably history of BBT and anything in California that I've known of. It would be incredible if somebody beat it, because the average size fish was 9 pounds for 5 fish. Average size fish, and just let that sink in. The average size fish was 9 pounds. I don't think they're doing that in Mexico. So 9-pound average. All right. And the big fish, I mean, it was bigger than 9 pounds, but not that much bigger. So it was a true, like, you know, close to 9-pound average as you could get. So pretty insane. And I want to talk about in this video how the guys are catching them, what you're not seeing, and what you're not hearing about ClearLake, California. And, you know, a lot of these people, you see the weights and you immediately rush up there and you think you're going to kill them. But, you know, my brother and I, we had one fish all day, 4.5 pounder, but we had a lot of followers. We had a lot of fish that we couldn't get to commit, and we just don't have enough time up there. We don't have enough spots up there, and that's the main thing. So what we're going to do is I'm going to jump to, I recorded some forward-facing video from our tournament yesterday. And this is just a direct recording straight from our Humminbird unit. So you could see, you know, the minnow, you could see the fish chasing it down. And I'm going to talk about kind of mistakes I think we made on some of the cadences. And then, you know, what you're looking for, what you're going to see if you go up there, and what to throw, how to get these fish to bite. It's all things that, like, I don't hear any of it being talked about out there, but we're going to talk about it in this video. So it'll give you a little bit better shot going up there, but I'll tell you, it's tough. Don't have high expectations when you go up there. I know that, you know, Greg Blanchard, talked to him. He was up there 3 days, caught one fish. We've been going out. We had 4 pre-fishing trips. Each trip caught like one fish. I caught 2 one of the days. So, you know, these big, huge limits, you got to be spending lots of time on the water. You got to have a lot of spots to rotate. It's not just being done off of one rock pile or one little area. You gotta rotate. You got to hit the timing right. You got to be using your forward facing. You got to be working the minnow right. There's a lot that goes into it because these fish just aren't hungry. So let's jump into this forward facing video, and I'm gonna do a voiceover over the whole thing. And hope you guys learn something here and could take something away from it. Even though we didn't do great, but I kind of know what you got to do to get these fish to bite at this point. So I think if I went back up there, I'd do better. Just need more spots. That's it. So let's get into this forward-facing video. All right, guys. So here we go. This is our forward-facing unit, Apex. And let me just stop for a second before we get into talking about this and let you know, everybody's using a 4 to 5 inch minnow. That's what was reported on a ball head. I'm not going to go into minnows because you guys know what a minnow is. If you don't, you could look it up. There's a billion videos on forward-facing sonar using a minnow, and everybody's throwing the jerk shad, pretty much 4 to 5 inch jerk shads on a ball head, spinning rod. Some guys are using 10-pound leader. Some are using 16-pound leader. So I don't know that matters, but look at this. There's our minnow right there, and that's a big, big fish chasing it down, hot on it, okay? You can see it just chases it way off the bottom, comes like 10, 12 feet off the bottom and goes right back down to that same exact rock it came from. Super disappointing, but this is what you're going to see all day long out there. And this is, again, was during the tournament. That fish right there was probably over 6 pounds. Could have been an 8, 9, 10. It was a big, big fish, because later on you'll see, one of the fish that we do catch, the fish we do catch, 4.5 pounder, and see what that looks like on the screen. But you can see this little rock pile, and this is what you're doing is all day long is just casting over this structure. And you can see those little spikes. A lot of those are fish sitting on this little rock pile right there, and you'll get them to come up off bottom like that last one did, and you'll get them to move. But I wanted to keep this in there because, you would think that, hey, that fish shot up there and was going to get it. We could cast back in there, and maybe you'll eat it again. I would say 100% of the time, that's not going to happen. That fish is going to expend energy one time, and if you're not working that bait perfectly, and you got to keep that bait moving away from the fish. So obviously, if you're in a boat and you're fishing 30 foot of water, moving away from the fish means that bait's going up towards the surface. As you're reeling faster, twitching it and moving it faster, keeping it away. So just playing keep away from that fish. And if he decides to eat it, he's going to shoot up there and just grab it and eat it. So, it's really hard to do, because you see the fish right there and you think, just slow down, keep twitching it right in front of it. And if you let that bait slow down, or if you let that bait drop in the water column even 6 inches, it like triggers some response from them. They shoot right back down to the bottom, and they're not interested in it. It's truly just an instinctual, like primal urge for these fish to come up and get it. So here's one that actually we catch. So my brother catches this one, and I have my minnow right here. This one shoots up and gets it. It bites it. I miss it, and that's a small fish. And see this blob right here that he catches? It's not very big. It's probably half the size of the last one. And that's a 4.5 pounder. So the first one was a lot bigger, but this fish comes up, he hooks it right there. So that's what's happening. That fish, if you're lucky, you want to see at the very end of your cast something chasing your bait, or that fish or blob come off the bottom. And as soon as you see that thing move off the bottom, you need to start twitching it, faster, moving it along faster. That fish is coming to get it, you need to keep moving it along faster. And that the only reason they're eating it is because it's just a primal instinct. Hey, there's a shad getting away, let's eat it. When you catch these fish, you'll see they're so fat, they don't need to eat. Like right here, this is an example. This fish came up to look at it, and we should have been moving that minnow away from it immediately. Instead, we keep shaking it slow, and see, as soon as I let that minnow go down, that fish is like, nope, not going to do it. We're just going to go right back down here to the bottom. And it seems like, hey, one of these fish, I got to try to drop it down to these fish. One of them's got to eat it when I drop it down and slow it down, or just shake it in its face. And they just don't do it. I haven't caught one yet doing that. Not a single one. So, you got to keep moving that thing away from them. And again, all you're doing is looking for these little rock piles, areas that fish live in, and throwing that minnow out there, and you're using it like a search bait. And here's one. Look, this one you could barely see. We didn't see it really come off the bottom. I don't know that we're even moving the minnow fast enough, but we're trying to keep it away from it. It comes up, it's hot on it, and look, the minnow's starting to go back down right there. And that fish is just staying right there in the water column, not really coming after it. It's kind of interested right now. I mean, right there. Why couldn't you just eat it? And that's what we say all day long. These are just a few clips, but it's like, man, why couldn't you just have eaten that thing? We just need 5 bites. But we're only getting like maybe 7 or 8 to do this all day long. We don't have enough spots. And these guys that are doing well, I think they're getting a lot of these fish to chase like that. A lot of them aren't eating it, but you're not looking for a lot of them. You're just looking for 5 of them. That's all you need. Here's one coming off the bottom right there, almost 60. Hot on it. We thought this one was going to eat it for sure. See, we're moving it away, keeping it away. It's on it. I mean, it was on it, and it went back down the bottom. That's a big one too. Like that's a good fish right there. And that's just what you need. Here it comes, like shooting over to the bottom, and again, it seems like you could drop it down to the bottom and dead stick it there, and it's going to go over there and eat it. They just don't do it, and they'll follow it. Like this one's might be a different one. There's a bunch of fish right here on this little mound. Here's another one. Same thing. My bait's out. Where's it at? Man, it's so hard to see. And right here, it's like 2-foot chop, so that's why the bottom's like moving and the trolling motor's moving. There the bait was, right there at 70. It's dropping, right in that crevice, right in that like little crater thing right there. And there's a fish in that, and we get it to come out. So he starts twitching it right there. So you're trying to get your bait like a foot off the bottom, the minnow, and just start twitching it. Start twitching it like normal. And as soon as you see a blob or you think you see one, you need to speed that thing up. And nobody's really, talking about those details. Here's one right here. It needs to speed up, speed up, speed up, speed up. That fish is coming on it. We think it's going to eat it, but this one's going to eat it for sure. Normally, if they chase it up, they're going to eat it. Again, another good fish. Chases it all the way up there. It looks like it ate it right there. Nope. That fish came up. That was almost, 8 feet from the surface, down from 20, to get that thing, and it just sinking back down slowly like a submarine. All right, you guys. So this tournament took huge limits to place in the money. 45 pounds for first, 42 pounds for second, 37 pounds for third. Unbelievable. But that 47-pound weight's the biggest, or 47, the 45-pound weight's the biggest I've ever heard of. And I could research and find 45 pounds was caught in Florida by Dean Rojas, I think in 2002. I could be wrong on the date. But sight fishing event, he had 45 pounds, 2 ounces, or 45.02. So I think this one's bigger. So I think it could be the biggest 5-fish limit ever. Comment down below if you know of a bigger one. It's huge. But again, all you're doing at ClearLake, and what you're not hearing is you're running a lot of spots that you have confidence that there's fish in, and you're just using that minnow as a search tool, and you're using a 4 to 5 inch Z-Man jerk shad. I'm sure you could use like a 5-inch Sakamata shad as well, but the 4 to 5 inch Z-Man jerk shads, they're denser. I think guys like them because you could cast them further with less weight, and they show up better for us on the forward facing. So a key component is being able to see your bait and see when that fish starts to rise up, and being able to react to when that fish moves up. You need to keep moving that bait along. Twitch, faster. That fish is coming like this. Your bait's right here. You see that fish moving, you need to start moving that bait away like this, and the fish will either come up and get it, or it's going to go back down. A lot of times they go back down, but you can't be twitching along, see a fish come up, and just keep it the same pace. It'll just follow it like this the whole way. Or you can't be twitching along, fish come up, and there's 4 or 5 behind it, and you slow it down, and that bait goes down. The fish will all just go down. That's it. You cannot, nobody's saying they getting bit like that, just twitching along like that. You gotta speed it up. It's that cat and mouse, getting those fish to really commit out of instinct, not hunger. They're not hungry. They're freaking fat as could be. That's why they weigh so much. But yeah, those are the things that people really aren't talking about, and that the bite is great for some, horrible for others. Maybe, you could go up shallow and you could put a bag together, but it's going to be smaller. Maybe you'll catch more fish up shallow, but they're going to be smaller. These giant bags are coming out of, 20 foot, 25, 30 foot of water. That's where these giant bags are coming out of. And so, as we progress along this month and that water starts to heat up, I'd say it's 52 right now, or was at the end of the day yesterday. Once it gets up another 4 degrees, it's going to be, there should be other bites. Fish should actually be eating underspins, the typical stuff, right? Underspins, A-rigs, LB500, yo-yoing it off the bottom. We tried all that. We tried dropping a drop shot down on them, Ned rig down on them, and you're dropping it in them because you could see them on the screen. You're dropping it in schools of them on the bottom. And I was trying that a lot. My brother was throwing the forward-facing stuff, and it's hard to do 2 at a time, so I'd slow down and drop shot Ned rig right in the fish, just dead sticking it or slowly dragging it, and never got touched, never got anything on that. So that's what you need to know going up there right now, is that patience, grind it out all day long. You know, use the minnow, just put it in your hand, don't put it down. But unfortunately, you need to have forward facing. You need to know how to use it, and keep that bait away from the fish, right? It's just, you got to have that perfect cadence. And you know, I don't think we have it at all. I'm not going to say we do. Guys that do are catching those big bags. They know how to get them. So congratulations to them. Congratulations if you won the giveaway. All you got to do is email us at thebassocup@gmail.com. We'll get you half our YouTube income over to you. So make sure you email us though at thebassocup@gmail.com. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time.